Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Back to the Basics show. We're your hosts, Eddie and Josh.
Woo! And it's another beautiful Saturday morning in the Hall of Justice.
Ooh, Hall of Justice.
And, you know, Eddie, dude, it's been 4 long years.
4 years? What are you talking about, man?
4 long years for us to sit down in the Hall of Justice.
Has it really been that long?
And talk about Joss Whedon's.
If you don't get that out of here. We talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League, man. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. Hashtag restore the Snyderverse. I'm talking about hashtags. Ooh, yeah.
Hashtag that. WB.
Hashtag into the Snyderverse.
Well, there's a lot to discuss, so I want to jump into this episode. But before we go, we want to let you know you can find the podcast version of our show everywhere you can find podcasts. You can check us out at BackToTheBasics.com.
Yeah, man, we everywhere. But besides that, I'm excited, man. We're a little removed from watching it. I've watched it thousands of times. I don't know about you, Josh.
I've watched it,
but it's still so
more than
good.
enough. More than enough.
It's still so good. There's so much to soak up, man.
It's a lot.
Can't wait to get into the episode and talk about all the Snyder Cut.
Did you know that we live in a society?
We do! Hashtag. I'm excited, dude. Let's do it. Get back to the basics.
So here we are again in the dojo, and you got me talking about DC Comics.
DC, baby. Zack Snyder's Justice League, to be exact.
Why the hell am I wearing these headphones?
Oh, no. We went back into time. Flash done turn back time, baby.
Don't you turn back time?
Yeah.
So
Look, he's doing it right now.
Is he?
Yeah.
So, yeah. DC Comics, Justice League. We're all aware of the events that transpired 4 years ago, right?
Yeah.
All up in the theater. I'll never forget, man.
Just disappointed.
The movie popped on. And the Henry Cavill scene, seeing Superman with his face all warped with some CG from PlayStation 1.
Hope is like a car keys, bro. Hope is like car keys.
Didn't he say something like it's a river? Hope is like a river. It like winds.
It's like your car keys.
He says car keys?
That's Jeff Johns for you, y'all. Joss Whedon.
Hey, man, I like Jeff Johns.
What's the difference, man? What's the difference?
What's the difference in life?
Is there a Snyder Cut?
Oh, yes, there's a Snyder Cut. What the fuck are we talking about?
Is there a thing? A thing?
Oh,
What's
man.
the difference between Joss Whedon's Justice League right here? This little thing.
It's a masterpiece.
What's the... You think that? This is coming from the guy who likes Green Lantern, by the way.
I love Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. I love that movie. There's a director's cut of that movie. So this isn't new, man. There was a director's cut of Green Lantern. This isn't new, man. This whole director's cut.
There's always director's cuts of something.
Yeah, but
this one is actually better.
This one is one of a kind, right?
Bruh, they got 2 hours of a film on the cutting room floor? You tell me you couldn't find, like, a couple good things in this film to, like, leave in? Besides the bullshit that they left in?
Let's get to the meat and potatoes, dude.
Meat and potatoes?
Yes.
Let's do it.
It's... They released a film. There's a lot that happened with Zack Snyder.
4 years, bro.
There's a lot that happened, though. This is like a huge thing, right? There's an iceberg of what an event of dominoes.
Just Titanic that.
Yeah.
Just cut through it.
Zack lost one of his daughters.
Yeah.
He stepped away from finishing Justice League as the director.
Yeah. I think it was like towards the end, right? Or like...
So Warner Brothers decides to bring in Joss Whedon, which I think at that time, the last movie he did was Marvel's Age of Ultron.
Let's bring in a Marvel guy to do a DC film.
Well, that seems to be the trend nowadays.
That works, right?
With Suicide Squad and James Gunn. hand. Stupid as shit.
Let's see how that's gonna go.
Let's just make this let's just shit on James Gunn. But no,
Ooh,
so a lot happened.
hot take.
A lot happened.
Yeah.
They had to do a bunch of reshoots.
Brought in a new director. Brought in a new film score person. They brought in Danny Elfman from the Batman Returns to do his Batman score throughout the film.
And it was originally supposed to be
Tom Hulkenberg, Junkie XL,
okay.
right? So that's who they brought back for the Snyder Cut. They let him finish. So not only did Zack Snyder get stripped of his film, but Tom Hulkenberg got the boot kicked out, and they brought in Danny Elfman because they were like, well, yeah, last time we had some good DC films, Batman Returns.
Jeez.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Catwoman, you watch that? With Halle Berry?
Oh, you did it.
It's canon.
You like Halle Berry?
I like Halle Berry. I'm not a fan of her acting, but
She was good in Bond, huh?
no. She was the worst Bond girl ever. Ever. Yeah, I said that. She's my least favorite Bond girl.
I damn near died, bro.
That whole movie is, I would say it's one of the worst.
Back to Justice League.
My mind flipped. You pulled out Bond, dude. My mind flipped to Bond now. Can't wait for the new one. But Justice League, dude, there is just so much. Like, honestly, I don't even know where to start.
Let's
start with the original film.
Yeah, we started at the beginning, man.
The movie. I'll never forget sitting in the theater.
At the theater, yeah.
And Superman pops on with his weird warped face.
He kind of looked like Agent Smith from Matrix. That's what I always saw. I was like, why does Henry Cavill look like Agent Smith?
I'll never forget sitting in that seat and looking over and just being like, this isn't the movie, right?
Did somebody prank us?
Yeah. Like, this is a joke. I
What
literally
happened?
thought that. Like, this is not part of the movie.
That's
and then
crazy.
the score kicks in. And I think that was a very good Death of Superman intro.
In the new one.
In Joss Whedon.
The song. The song.
Yeah, when the song plays.
I did like that song.
And that whole little that sequence plays.
That was
of
a pretty
Superman
good part.
Dead.
So you're gonna go through here and find all the good stuff about Justice League, huh? Is that what?
I'll find a few.
Take?
I'll find a few. I'll put a condom on it.
Oh no.
So I guess I was one of I'll just throw myself out there. I guess I was one of the only people. I can't say the only, but I guess I'm of the select few that accepted the original Justice League movie.
I bought it.
Yeah, it's sitting. My copy's sitting right there. That was a gift, though. Gift, by the way.
So he didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it.
I did buy it, but I believe much like you, I took the whole Green Lantern Dragon Ball Evolution take on it. Right? I was like, it's the only one of its kind.
A lot of people's not going to understand what you're saying right there,
It's
but
the only live action Justice League movie that we have that goes along with Man of Steel and BVS. Just like Green Lantern is the only live action movie that there's ever been. Dragon Ball Evolution, only live action. So you accept it for what it is, even though it's a piece of dog shit that they offered up.
there was I believe in the 90s, there was a TV pilot Justice League live action.
I'm talking about movies, man. Theatrical feature
live action,
film
though.
release.
Yeah, whatever.
And so Justice League, it has all the same actors, right? There's Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, Ezra Miller as the Flash, Ray Fisher as Cyborg. So all these names, it's supposed to be the big coming together of Justice League. And you get this movie where the characters don't even get along throughout the whole film. We watched it. We sat there and watched Joss Whedon's version before we watched Zack Snyder's
Literally
version.
back to back.
Back to back.
We timed it. I think it probably took us 4 to 6 hours to get through the Joss Whedon cut.
Oh, it was so bad.
Because we were pausing.
It was so bad.
We were pausing like every scene, debating on is this Zack Snyder vision? Is this Joss Whedon's vision? And if so, is this gonna be in the final Snyder cut? And we were like analyzing every fucking scene, and it took us like 3 times as long to get through the movie, but it worked out perfectly. And right at midnight, we switched over and started watching Zack Snyder.
Yeah, it was the best experience. I got a lot of them right, by the way. I was like, yeah, that's not Zack Snyder.
There was a lot though where we were like, whoa, that is a Snyder cut scene.
That's true.
Like, I thought that was a Joss scene because that is pretty shitty.
And then there was a lot that we had never even seen before. You talked about the death of Superman. How about that retelling of the death of Superman as the intro for Zack Snyder's Justice League?
It's a lot better than the original.
Was that not hella good?
Hella.
The ripple effect of
like
this god crying out in pain.
It's
just
kind of like a death rattle. A death cry.
Bro. I didn't see that coming.
Well, the bell has been rung.
And Lex said it, man. Lex said it. They've heard it amongst the stars. And that was like the biggest tip off to that. And it was just a really interesting way to open it. And he did that with BVS too. You saw things from Bruce Wayne's side. Well, now this one, you're seeing it from like Bruce Wayne and Wonder Woman.
Walking out of the theater of the original film, we all kind of felt it's off.
Oh,
it's
hell yeah.
weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's not shit here. We saw stuff in the trailer that didn't end up in the film. So walking out of the theater, if you have a basic IQ, you're going to be understanding that like this isn't the final cut. And then after all that shit came out, you know, you find out that they butchered the film. Joss Whedon switched a bunch of shit. And WB just really did a really bad Edward Scissorhands to the movie.
Hack job.
They hacked it, man. They fucked it all up. But apparently they were trying to take the original vision and going into their own, things making sense for their own agenda, right?
Yeah. They wanted it to kind of be this cookie cutter, happy-go-lucky, marvelized Justice League.
Marvelized. Is that a word?
Yeah, man. They marvelized it, dude.
Marvelized.
Did they not?
I like the word. I don't like the meaning though.
Did they not marvelize it?
Yeah.
Or they tried to?
Yeah.
The original anyway?
I think they tried to make it more poppy, more of a Marvel film. And
they said there's an equation that works. If we apply it to Justice League, it's going to be a success.
And those are the movies that I really don't like. I think normal people that sit down and watch a film, I think they are entertained by a film that has 5 genres of film in it.
Yeah.
There's always got to be some comedy.
Yeah.
There's always got to be some romance. There's always got to be some drama.
A little bit.
There might be some suspense.
Yeah.
There's got to be that action shot. I don't like that.
This movie has all of that. If you want it. If you want it.
And that's what I think when I think of Marvelized.
Yeah.
You Marvelize it. It's what they did with Star Wars. You got to shove a little bit of every. It's like slicing off a little bit of every genre
so that
into
you
our
keep
film.
everybody happy, right?
So you get a wider audience.
Yeah.
More people are happy with it. I'm going to be happy because the action scenes. Mrs. might be happy because of the romance. Whatever.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is very niche, bro. If you're a fan of the characters and Justice League and Superman and Batman and all the and telling of arcs, that's the movie for you. If you really want to see some meat behind the potatoes, Zack Snyder's Justice League is for you.
Before we start breaking down like the final version of the Snyder Cut, the original film, how long did you think there was a Snyder Cut for all these years?
Bro.
But because I want to talk about this before we get into the movie. I want to talk about this build up, this hashtag.
Oh, the movement.
The movement, yeah. I want to talk about this.
The fandom, right?
The
millions.
Others would say the Snyder cult.
Oh God!
Right? And I'm going to say this right off the bat.
Is this toxic?
A lot of people might not like the things I'm going to say, but at the end of the day, I've known from day one that they're somewhere in the universe lies. When will it be released? I don't know.
There had to be.
Of the Snyder Cut. Zack
Yeah.
Snyder is known for doing director's cuts.
Yeah. You
Zack
saw it with BVS, right? He had the Ultimate Edition.
even back
Way
in
better.
even back in the day, there was a little something called Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, yeah.
When it came out, I have it on Blu-ray. There's the director's cut.
Hell good.
And is it as different as something like the Snyder Cut? No, but Zack Snyder is known for director's cuts and just releasing it when it comes to home video.
Yeah.
VHS.
Something
When
a
it
little
comes-
extra.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
God.
always add some extra in. But
4K Blu-ray, bruh.
shit,
You said, well, did I know that there was a Snyder Cut?
So how long for you personally did it take to accept it? Because it was 4 long years.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And the Snyder Cut was a very small movement. And then supposedly, I'll use air quotes, it got real big.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
But we'll get into how actually huge it was. We'll talk about that, or is, towards the end of the show. But for you, what was that experience like?
Yeah, man. So much like you, I was in the theaters, saw the whole film, walked out. I bought a shit ton of seats for me and my family and my friends, and we all went. Everybody expecting Justice League. Great film. Walked out of there. Everybody was kind of like looking at each other. We were all kind of conversating. We were like, what the fuck was that, bro? What was that? I turned to my friend Michael. I was like, he was like, Batman sucked. Big Batman fan, by the way. He was like, Batman sucked. Turned to my brother. We're both big Superman fans. Like, that wasn't it. And it just didn't sit right. Now, I didn't know that, oh, yeah, there's for sure 100% there's a Justice League Snyder Cut out there. Didn't even know the name, right? But I was like, that couldn't have been it. Something went wrong. Because I wasn't following like, oh, Zack Snyder left and they brought in, I had heard a little something like that. I think the one thing that I did hear for sure was they brought in Danny Elfman to do the score. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, a
DC veteran.
I was like, yeah, that's tight. He probably added a little something to it, right? I was like, we're definitely probably going to hear the little Batman. And I was like, that's cool. It's a touch on nostalgia. I was like, that's fine. But after seeing the movie and not really seeing much of that, and I was just like, But then fast forward a couple of months, you start to see people using this hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
It was a while.
Hashtag Snyder Cut. Hashtag release. There were some people, I think even the night after, I think that was when like the first like couple people who were like, yeah, I want to see this. Actually went out there and tweeted that. For me personally though, it was probably a couple months. But once I was on that train, and I have a bunch of posts that I can go back and be like, yeah, see, I was like one of the few people who was like, release the Snyder Cut, release the Snyder Cut. Because for me, I was like, if there's something out there that's more than what I got, because I was disappointed. If there's something out there, then, well, yeah, I want to see it. Because what we got versus what we had previously, Man of Steel and BVS, it just didn't match. It didn't add up. And like a lot of people, I was like, well, what are we missing?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see Superman in the black suit.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that hinted the whole movie. Black suit Superman. That is the rebirth of Superman.
Rebirth, baby.
The whole arc. And you're going to miss the opportunity to put a live action black suit Superman on the screen when you literally did the death of Superman? That's shit that you got to capitalize on. I don't care what studio, what company, whatever. Stick to the story material and capitalize on it.
It shows you how, to me,
And
it
they
shows
didn't.
me how out of touch a lot of these executives and producers really are with the
Source
content,
material.
the source material. Yeah. It shows you how out of touch these people are.
Yeah.
Sitting around their little fucking table
Don't even
with their
know shit
millions
about their
of fucking
characters.
dollars, and they're sitting there bouncing ideas off each other like complete fucking morons. And they will always edge. They will always edge towards what is more marketable and what can hit a larger, wider audience.
The mass consumer. That's what they're concerned about. The dollars, the money.
And
at the end of the day, it's a business decision.
One thing, I'm talking way before there was even announced a Justice League movie. I've been a Zack Snyder fan since Dawn of the Dead, really.
That was the first Zack Snyder film that I saw.
That really captured me, and I was like, "Holy shit, this dude can direct!"
Yeah,
and then going on to, I'm one of the only people that I know. I love Sucker Punch. I love Watchmen.
Man.
I love 300. I think 300 was the first. Isn't 300 before Dawn of the Dead? I could be wrong.
Maybe but that was the first one that I saw was Dawn of the Dead. Yeah. That I knew it was a Zack Snyder film, and I was like, oh shit.
The way that he creates just his vision of film, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
And what he did with Man of Steel.
That's where I fell in love.
I didn't like it for a long time.
That's where I fell in love.
I know we talked a lot about it on the Superman episode, but Batman v Superman was epic, and in the way that he puts his spin on his. The one thing that I know Zack Snyder has that most of these other directors and producers don't have is a vision.
Yeah. You got plans,
and
man.
I know I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like, dude, you can't tell a story of a character unless you know how the story ends. I know there's a certain saying for that or something. You have to visualize the character
beginning to end, the whole arc
before you can start telling me a story. Because if not, then where the fuck are you going?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these Marvel films have. Is if you go back and watch it, they're timepieces and they're entertaining because they're a bunch of different genres. But at the end of the day, they're very thin with character development. In my opinion, they're very thin, and because they didn't really, like the Marvel execs, they didn't really know where they wanted this story to go.
To go with a lot of the characters.
Now, since it's big, obviously they have like a 5-10 year, they have a roadmap.
Yeah.
Right? Zack Snyder had a roadmap when Marvel was just like, oh, they didn't know, oh, we're going to do this character and this character. Well, how do we merge these worlds and how do we create this universe? Zack Snyder already had a vision for his Snyderverse.
Yeah. He was world building from the beginning, man.
From the beginning.
It's been, since you see Man of Steel, there's Easter eggs, there's world building, there's characters, dead Kryptonians and ships that we still don't even know who that is. Open Kryptonian ships that is like, hey, there might be another one on Earth somewhere. Mm-hmm. If you know anything, you might know who that is.
Yeah.
No answer to it, though, but it's world building, man. It's having a plan. At this point in time, in case we want to go there, we can. And that's what he did. Even in Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League. He built the shit out of this world. Did it take 4 hours? Yeah. But that's the time it takes to tell the story that you need to tell. He's introducing like 6 new characters in this film. It's the introduction of Flash, introduction of Aquaman, Cyborg, Darkseid, Desaad, Steppenwolf. He is introducing a shit ton of characters in this one movie, and they're like, nah, hour and 57 minutes.
Wasn't Suicide Squad the introduction of Flash?
He wasn't. Well, see, but
Suicide
this is
Squad before Justice League?
Yes, so it does take place before Justice League, and those characters were also in BVS. They had little snippets. They were there.
That's true. Yeah, BVS did kind of start it with the little
that was
computer
all
programs.
like the world building, right? Because it's like, hey, they exist in this world. But now it's the introduction of them. We have names to the characters, right? We know, okay, well, that's Barry Allen. You know, that's Cyborg. That's Bruce Wayne is Batman. And so we have this world building, these characters interacting with each other, and that's going to take time on the screen to develop and then go into the next film. That's when you can really have fun, is after all the characters are introduced, you can go into the next film.
Yeah.
Break shit, and that's always the thing, man. You introduce them in the first one, throw them into, much like Empire Strikes Back, throw them into the worst possible situation ever, and then bring them out in the end. Justice League 2 and 3, baby.
So before we get even, like I said, before we even get into the episodes, we'll save the actual lusting over the actual film and the movie towards the end, but. There's so much to unpack with this entire story of the Snyder Cut, right? We have the small dominoes in the beginning that basically carved a path for just incomplete insanity. So there's so much behind the scenes like drama with this entire project.
100%.
You have people coming out like Ray Fisher and talking about how there was like this I don't know, I guess gross malpractice treatment on set.
Yeah. Multiple actors, characters in the movie have said stuff about the one director who they brought in to finish the film.
Mm-hmm.
Allegations, investigations.
I know some of the recent ones I've heard is Joss Whedon actually threatened Gal Gadot's career.
Said that I will literally end
your career
unless you say the lines that I want you to do. I can make you, as Wonder Woman, look like shit in this film.
Yeah.
How are you going to say that about an upcoming
that's
actress?
an allegation, right? We don't know it to be 100%
That's what
true.
she said.
Yeah.
We don't know any side of Joss Whedon because he hasn't come out and said anything about all this stuff, which just fuels the fire even more.
Well, I think that's a good thing, right? Because there probably will be some investigations.
But no apology, no nothing, no like, oh, okay, at this time I was wrong, or I shouldn't have done this.
And the one thing I do want to like highlight on that is you got to realize, dude, and I think a lot of these people, and I'm not saying everyone in Hollywood is a piece of shit, but I'm saying that everyone in Hollywood is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the actors to directors to executive producers.
You can't sit here and think that these directors are these fucking angels.
Yeah.
Right? We've heard Mel Gibson on set. We've heard who is the Batman dude?
Christian Bale.
We've heard Christian Bale on set. We've heard Tom Cruise on set. They're absolute fucking egotistical. We've heard Russell Crowe. We've heard a lot of these actors and these producers. They are pieces of shit.
There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that have happened for years and hundreds of years on sets that nobody talks about, right? But we're getting to this age to where as soon as you disrespect someone or you rub someone the wrong way, well, it's going to the internet.
It's going to the internet.
And that's what is happening. And a lot of people have voices now, so they can say, oh, so-and-so wronged me, just like Ray Fisher did. Mm-hmm. He said, I was treated this way. This is not the way that society works anymore. So I have my story.
Yeah.
Right? That's what's happening. So you get to that point where kind of got to watch what you say now. You can't say a lot of things. You can't do a lot of things. You can't treat people the way you're probably used to treating them.
You're saying I can't have a last name like Weinstein and be like, oh, pretty girl, you want to roll in this movie? Suck me up.
You definitely can't just shoot scenes of people's feet anymore, man.
Oh, like Quentin Tarantino? He just gives every movie foot fetish? You can't be like shit. I forgot his name, but he's a piece of shit. I don't know.
All of them.
But the thing is, you can't expect these people to be nice. And I think that more, like exactly what you described, that's only going to happen more, right? We had the Me Too movement about the forced sexuality in Hollywood. I think over the next couple generations, you're going to see a lot more discussing sexual shit that comes out of Hollywood. But people
have lives. They have opinions. They have feelings. They have all these things that they can literally just get on the internet and tweet about. And you can get in trouble for.
And now you had like this complete yin and yang for these actors for their journey on set. Basically, they worked with Zack, who they were all very fond of. Everyone on set says Zack's a very good guy.
Everybody loves working with him, man.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
He's very passionate and everything like that, and that's so cool. And then they had like this other experience with this Marvelized director, this Buffy the Vampire motherfucker.
Now, see, I grew up watching a lot of like behind the scenes documentaries on George Lucas and how he did filmmaking. And George Lucas, much like Zack Snyder, I believe, is very interested in the story. When George Lucas was making Star Wars, he didn't care about the studio. He just wanted to direct his film, make his movie, and get it out there. He paid for Star Wars to be made, basically. Much like Zack Snyder, he's very much like, I want to make the film that I want to make, and I don't want anyone to interrupt it because I have a vision, like you said. and whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna do to get it out there. Zack Snyder's Justice League, he didn't make anything initially extra off of what any proceeds that are coming from this film. He didn't get paid for it, bro.
And
that says something to me. That says something about.
And the difference between Zack and other Hollywood directors.
You think somebody would have done this movie for no pay? Finish it and put it out there?
Well, Zack's very much about his finished product and his art. Like he wants
His
it to
art.
be a full. You know, he wants to paint the whole canvas.
He's an artist.
He doesn't want to leave the canvas have blank spots. He's an artist. And that's what I think that's a big difference between Zack. And over the years, if you watch his films compared to other Hollywood films, those years that it was coming out, if you sit there and compare like his catalog to a lot of other people's catalog that are just mainly about like blockbusters, summer blockbuster movies or whatever, basically you can watch once or twice and forget about. Zack Snyder's, I guarantee you, like almost every one of his films, they're timeless.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between people who make art that it's designed for a flares flare up and then they go out.
Yeah.
Zack is all about making art that the film will be relevant today and 100 years from now.
It's called standing the test of time, my friend.
And that's the difference. That's the difference, I think, with Zack Snyder. And the idea that when he wants to create this world and he has this vision and he's so passionate about it is because he has investment with these characters. He's invested with these characters because he cares about these characters.
He's like a fan, bro. It's like a fan film. Anytime he gets behind the lens, directs, it's like a fan film because he's willing to put the passion, the care, the devotion into whatever he's making because he cares about the characters. He cares about the story. And there's not a lot of people, just like Joss Whedon, who don't give a shit about it. He's like, oh, paycheck? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can make this movie.
I think at the end of the day,
That's
it's a paycheck, dude.
That's it.
And that just sucks. And you can see it. You can see the difference in films when they make it because it's a script that they got set with or blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, it just sucks. So even when things aren't as good, but when there's passion involved, I'm down to enjoy
100% better. Go back and watch the original Justice League. Then go back and watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about.
And I'm pretty sure that the main fan base, they've done that.
Yeah,
they've sat there and compared the two.
I haven't watched the people behind the movement.
After a couple weeks now that the movie's been out, we've seen it a bunch of times.
Oh yeah.
I haven't sat down outside of me and you sitting down and doing it like
that
we said earlier.
Night,
I haven't sat down and watched like videos to say, oh, this is the difference, because I kind of have wrapped my brain around it all.
And I don't think I will. I honestly don't think I'll go back and watch this version.
There's never ever a reason to watch the original version.
No, it doesn't do anything for the characters and the story. And that's one thing that me personally, I want to get your take on is a lot of the characters that I want to talk about is some of the like key differences, because I know before this, I don't think you were a big fan of the Cyborg character. There was nothing there.
There wasn't a lot there, but I did.
Not the actor, but the character.
No, Ray Fisher's fine. I'm saying like the thing that's fun. The funniest thing about this whole thing with the Snyder Cut is there are some scenes that I love
from the
original.
League?
Yes.
What scenes are those?
Well, you know what they are. I love the very end where Flash.
Tell the people, Josh. Tell the people.
Where Flash and Superman go to race.
Just because it's comically canon, I know. It's the animated series, right?
It's one of my favorite scenes from the Superman animated series, and it's just a cool callback I can't stand, and I still say that suit. That new Superman suit, the blue one with the little abs and everything, and the white muscles.
Are you gonna say that's better than the black suit?
No,
because I'll destroy you right now.
No. That suit is disgusting. But the thing is that black suit is literally the same exact suit. It has a little highlight.
Of course, yeah. But you can't see it.
Yeah. But that scene, I loved, and shit, what was the other scene?
Tell us, Josh. What are the scenes that you love from the Justice League?
Oh, what was it?
Because I know it's not the beginning.
It'll come to me.
There's not a lot, man.
I do like the parademon scene on the rooftop.
With Batman?
That was some 89 vibes. The rooftop with the water tower.
It just didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense because that even...
It was okay.
At the end of that, right? So Batman just used the little thief to call the parademon, right? And then what does Batman do at the end? He just like dips. And this person who was just robbing this building, Batman didn't tie him up and, leave him for the police or anything. He just left him standing on a rooftop. I was just like, okay, bye.
He had bigger things to deal with. But
you tell me he can't wrap his fucking batarang around his feet and
I have a fat
leave him hanging like Spider-Man?
Yeah, I mean, he could have. Why do that though? They don't want to try.
He's
man.
a thief. He's a thief, and Batman is about justice.
No, I'm talking about why would they do all that when they could
because they don't care about the movie. Because they don't care about the movie. Just don't make no sense. That's what I'm trying to say, man.
Yeah,
don't make any sense.
There was a couple scenes I will probably get killed for this. I did enjoy the line of the whole "Do you bleed?"
Oh my!
I know a lot of people don't like that.
Okay. Do you?
Oh no, it's definitely cringe. It's definitely cringe.
I can't, bro. The way they did that was super cringe.
It's super cringe, but I do like the response.
I can't even do it.
You won't let me live.
You won't let me die. The line is good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the delivery is not. It's lacking, but the line is good. But the visuals are just so horrible that you can't.
But there are a few scenes that didn't make it into the Snyder Cut, and I didn't realize how some of them. I was like, oh wow, it's interesting to say like, oh wow, I like that, and that was a Joss Whedon scene.
And a lot of them that were like alternate takes on that same scene from like a different angle or something. Those were the slightest differences. It's like, oh, it was that same line, but it went a little longer, or like the whole Batman with Aquaman in the beginning in the snow at like the little tavern thing when he puts him up against the wall. Well, in Justice League, he pulls out like a wad of cash, and that's not even in Justice League's version. He pulls out the cash, and the little girl scoops it up.
I do love when Aquaman walked out and they had the natives singing.
Yeah. That was really interesting.
So basically, this movie added, like you said, 2 hours of composition, right?
A lot of backstory,
and that's what a lot of people are saying is like, and that was the big question was okay, they're doing all this. Zack Snyder did all this.
It was Josh's question.
What?
Josh, that was your big question, right? Like, what more can there be, right?
Well, not that is like, okay, at the end of this film, what direction is this story going to change?
What direction?
At the end of the film,
baby.
What's going to be different?
There's a lot, man.
There is, but overall, it's kind of the same road to.
Well,
Dark Side, right?
So Justice League ended with Superman being Superman, and that's the end of the day, right? And Flash and Superman racing. Everybody ends happy-go-lucky. Oh, we're racing.
Yeah.
This one, it ends with, holy shit, there's a dark side out there. Dark side is going to boom tube any minute into the Batcave and kill Lois, and then we got this nightmare sequence where everybody is like, shit, dude, Superman's evil.
I could not believe they showed them like from the I couldn't believe they did the whole like when they killed him.
Dude.
I was so surprised they showed that. You see the Omega beams?
He kills Aquaman with his own trident, bro.
It's heavy.
Epic. That's epic.
It's heavy. It's so good. But anyways, at the end of it all, this was a big journey, a long journey for fans.
Oh yeah, man. I was one of them.
And a lot of people use social media as this to reach out to the Warner Brother gods.
It's
right?
a tool, man.
To the Mount Olympus, the Warner Brother water tower.
We just want justice.
Maniacs.
We just want justice, man.
You want
justice for Justice League.
So there was a lot, and the drama just continues and continues with this story. There's all this stuff happening, and then you have the fans. We just
caught in the middle, man. We just caught in the middle.
And I do criticize a lot about this stuff, but at the end of the day, I actually supported. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when or how. But I knew it in my heart. We all knew it. And you got to be pretty stupid. You got to be a Marvelized to realize that it wasn't going to come out. But
there's a lot of people who said it wasn't, man.
But
go on record and say that.
But
there's a lot.
I actually financially supported.
Oh yeah.
A very, very early. We won't say any names, but a very, very early thing for release the Snyder Cut. And back when it was like, I think it was Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Had a plane fly over and everything. Release the Snyder Cut. And
I think you even called into Warner Brothers, right?
Yeah. We called into Warner Brothers.
Dang, Josh been a fan of the Snyder Cut since the beginning.
Yeah, but once it started amassing in popularity, I was just like, dude, it just wasn't my fight. It wasn't my fight. I always knew it was coming. I was excited. Like I said, we're watching it the moment it comes out. You know what I'm saying? And DC is the best. And it was there, but in my heart, I just knew like it wasn't gonna change much. I was wrong.
Damn.
But man. My thing is, there was a lot of drama with the social media fandom.
Yeah.
The movement was said to be toxic. They were threatening people.
And you know why everybody says it's toxic? It's because all the fandoms were fighting with each other, right? They were fighting who's right, who's wrong, who has info, who has the scoop, right? There were all the scoopers out there. Oh, I just got this from Zack himself, and this is what's coming in. Oh no, so-and-so is Green Lantern. And
it became this giant battle, and it really was a whole Marvel versus DC.
Yeah.
Right? So any Marvel fan was like, keep dreaming, losers.
Yeah.
And then DC fans were like, fuck you, like, you're a fucking Marvel fanboy. Like,
they've been Marvelized,
and
bro.
it was this whole Sega, Nintendo console wars.
Yeah, the Snyder Wars.
And it was a comic book war of fandoms.
The Snyder Wars.
I think when you analyze it, the DC fans, well, they do say DC is a little bit more for adults, but
they won at the end of the day, bro. It's here.
But they were a little bit toxic. Well, we could all kind of see that. There was harassment going on.
And I feel like the people who were, because there are people in the fandom who probably harass people who, I think they just lost sight of, like, at the end of the day, it's the whole reason why we're tweeting restore the Snyderverse, hashtag release the Snyder Cut is because we want to see what Zack initially intended, right? We just want the story that we kind of saw in the Comic-Con trailer that was like, hey, this is coming. We didn't get that, so obviously we felt robbed. We were like, well, we just want to see this. At the end of the day, we did. And I always knew that was coming because, of course, I tweeted that stuff, but I stayed on the quiet side of, like, I didn't get into all the drama and hoopla, and I bought my t-shirt silently. I posted it, you know, I'll be in the gym, restore the Snyderverse, hashtag release the Snyder Cut, supporting. And I was like, and I told you multiple times, I was like, I really don't care about any of that because at the end of the day, I'm going to get to watch it and own it and put it physically on my shelf and replace this little bitch right here. Put it on my shelf and say, that's the film that I wanted to see for 4 years. I got it.
Replace it like a mustache.
Replace that. Yeah, CGI that film out of here. And I'm gonna put it on my shelf, man.
And that's cool. And see, I want to get into that before. Like I say, we'll leave the critique of the film until the end. But I really want to dive before we get into that of this whole phenomenon of hashtags and the power of social media.
Honestly, I will say there is some sort of little power. There is some little leeway, or of course there's the illusion of power.
And that's what I want to talk about.
There's a lot of illusion of power, but then there is sort of, because if you had nobody coming out and tweeting restore the Snyderverse or release the Snyder Cut, if nobody ever did that, it wouldn't even be a conversation.
Cuz it would still come out. It would have still came out.
Maybe years from now. I don't think it would have came out at the same time in the same way. And even Zack has said that.
And Zack's been working on this since he
Oh,
came
yeah.
back from his family loss.
It's been in his computer.
He's been slowly working on this.
Yeah.
You can go back to old images of Jason Momoa at Zack Snyder's house.
Yeah, and he's showing
years ago. You're talking about like I think a year after the official release. This has been being worked on this whole time. Anybody following the pulse, Zack Snyder's pulse, I think anybody following the pulse knew. Remember way back in the day, Zack released images of Mara on the beach?
Yeah.
The black and white.
He already had the footage.
That was so long
there.
ago. So we all knew it was being worked on.
It just needed to be pieced together. The visuals needed to get finished. Some of the CGI, you know, it's like a puzzle piece. You just need to put all the puzzles together and call it done.
So the illusion of power, and I think where there is any source of power, like we all knew it's being worked on.
Yep.
Anybody with their ear to the ground. Zack Snyder was working on it after he came back from his loss. Anybody that knew. But where there is that power source, right, where it's somewhere out there in the energy, power will always give the illusion of power.
Of course.
And people will find a sense of power. They'll find a sense of power.
They feel empowered by saying, hey, I got this movie at the end of the day. What else can I get?
And
right?
We talked about this when we talked about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the earlier, and I think it was still around the same time, I think, of release of Snyder Cut.
Yeah, it was going on while it was happening.
Kind of, but it was the whole I don't even know what the hashtag was for Sonic, but it was like not my Sonic. And so basically there's this community of people on social media, on Twitter, that are using hashtags to basically tell these multi-billion-dollar film companies in Hollywood what they want.
Yeah.
And I've said it on the show before. They
try to bully them into changing the design.
Yeah. And then Sonic did change the design.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. I think it was marketing. I think there was a false sense of power given to the fans.
Well, it's smart, bro. Let them believe that they're in control, right? It's smart. Smart. Yeah.
But as today, everyone says it's a win for the fans, a win for the release of Snyder Cut movement.
I say it is.
The collection of people that did that. And yeah, it's
out there.
It is a win.
Yeah.
But my question, and I want to ask anybody listening, is do you truly believe that this only came out because people on Twitter put hashtag to a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate fucking company that could give a fuck less what you think? Do you truly believe the fans did this? And I know you'll grab people and be like, oh, Zack said the fans did this. Thank you guys for believing in me.
Of course, yeah.
But I'll tell you from day one, I'm going to get dangerous.
Ooh, dangerous.
I truly believe that there was always a roadmap for this to come out. And I think you kind of touched on it. Yeah, it might have been later. We got it 4 years. It got pushed pretty fast.
Yeah.
The company saw, obviously. The company trained their fucking phone people to have a script to any time because there was massive amounts of people calling Warner Brothers.
Sending flowers, sending pictures, sending all kinds of things, right?
I think
letters demanding the Snyder Cut.
Was it an old article or it just happened the other day? There was a fucking car driving around the studios.
Yeah.
They had to call the cops on something about the air cut. And see, now the Trojan horse is here.
Hell yeah.
The hashtag.
Go get them.
The hashtag, right?
Release the air cut. I'm sorry, man. I want to see Jared Leto in a bigger role.
Then
as
give
the
him
Joker.
another movie, man.
Yeah,
give him another movie.
They should.
And they are. I
think he showed in the Snyder Cut that he deserves it.
Apparently, there's a Joker and Harley Quinn movie coming, and they confirmed it's a comedy.
No.
Yes.
No, don't give me that bullshit. Give me real Joker and real Harley. Don't give me this Marvelized bullshit.
And we're
going to
talk about the future of DC at the end of the episode.
Shit. Get all that out of here.
So, okay.
Restore the Snyderverse. Give me more of that.
Yes or no to the question. Do you believe the hashtag made this happen?
Not just the hashtag. No. I believe it was just like to anything. It was the fuel that lit the flame It helped it along. It pushed the narrative, but that was always going to be the
thing that happened.
It was always going to be the thing. As long as somebody wanted to make it happen, it was going to happen. Whether Zack did it on his own, 20 years from now, just like they did Richard Donner's cut of Superman 2, right? The
Sure.
Richard Donner cut. It was always going to happen. But what I'm saying is
it was the oil on the cogs.
the studio
Grease the
was able
machine.
to see, okay, there is an interest in this. So maybe we can do it sooner rather than later. Because, hey, maybe we can capitalize on this, put it on our new streaming service, which doesn't really have anything right now. Oh, we're in a pandemic. What can we go into the bag and pull out and be like, here's something in the meantime while y'all wait for Godzilla vs. Kong and Mortal Kombat to come out in theaters. Funny how theaters are opened up like 2 weeks after the Snyder Cut came out, right?
Yeah.
And they were just like, oh yeah, Godzilla's in theaters though.
We'll talk
Come
about
break box office records,
Well,
Godzilla.
Yeah. Kaiju breaking box office records and breaking HBO records, baby.
Where them box office records at for the Snyder Cut?
We'll talk about Godzilla in one
Where's
of the next
the Snyder
episodes.
Cut at the movie theaters? I want to see it at the drive-in.
Yeah,
I
we
want
didn't
to see
get
it at the movie theaters,
We didn't
man.
even get to see it at the drive-in.
That's some bullshit. I
because
wasn't
it's
gonna
an
see-
exclusive right now. 2.
Well,
I guarantee you, Zack Snyder's Justice League will come to a theater for a select showing.
just wait till they put it on Blu-ray.
So
Then you're gonna actually have some numbers that they can't suppress, right? Because they're not gonna in control of those numbers.
So you talking about this
Fucking number suppression.
billion-dollar conglomerate
Fuck WB.
look
Give me more movies though.
looking down at all the hashtags, release the Snyder Cut.
I just think they shady, man.
Of course they are. They're Hollywood, bro. This is
Yeah.
the thing. Quit idolizing these Hollywood losers,
it's just
dude.
fucked up. It's
Watch a
kinda
movie
shady.
and move on.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Watch
Yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
movie and move on with your damn life.
And I did.
Quit fucking up.
And now we're here talking about it.
People fucking worship these people. But the thing is, do
New
Do you-
before Saw.
kneel before Snoochies Boochies. So, do you think that Warner Brothers would? Okay, so what was the original movie to make? It was like 150 million, right? And then Warner Brothers gave. I it could be wrong. It could be 200 million. I think it was 150 million, or something like that. And then Warner Brothers gave Zack Snyder another 50 million.
Probably,
To
or
finish
like
it.
maybe even 70.
Oh, something like that,
Yeah,
in the
something.
ballpark. And so he
It's a lot of
finished
money,
it
man.
with that. Yeah, and do you think? I want to start getting into
You
the
wanna talk,
future.
like, numbers and
Yeah, do you think that Warner Brothers thought it was going to be better than it did? Because honestly, like right now, they haven't released the numbers, I don't believe, but I don't think
there's no official number for how much the Snyder Cut was streamed, viewed, and they have been comparing it to Godzilla vs. Kong, which came out like a week later.
2
And it's
weeks,
like,
I think.
it's like, bruh, like what? See, and that's WB trying to say, hey, forget about that and look over here. Don't worry about this.
Well, they got a movie every month for the whole year.
Yeah, but okay. There was a month.
And Snyder Cut was
month
one of
between
those.
Godzilla and Kong and
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, right? There was like a
Yeah.
month.
And Tom and Jerry.
Time
then
to give it its own like
Space
little
Jam.
its own little thing.
Every movie gets 1 month.
How about the leak on Tom and Jerry? If you turned on Tom and Jerry, you got to see the opening minutes of Snyder Cut. How'd that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. But do you think Warner Brothers, it was a success for Warner Brothers? And I want to talk about
As far as streaming, I do think a lot of people tuned in to watch the Snyder Cut. So much in I think it's Asia, or it might have been China, that some of their servers crashed. The servers went down while people were watching it. So that just tells me there's a flood of people trying to watch something. It didn't happen here in America, so I can't speak on that. But I do know they came out and they were like, "Oh, you guys crashed the servers," which is pretty fucking cool.
So I don't want to beat around the bush. I just want to say,
Was it a success?
do you believe with the Snyder Cut and everything that happened with it and them releasing on HBO, do you believe that they thought, if this does really good, we're going to continue the Snyderverse.
I don't think
Or do you
WB
think-
thought about that at all.
Do you think it was
No.
just like, we're just going to knock this out there and
Yeah.
we've already set course to
much
go
like
in our own
much
way?
like people just putting out bullshit content, they were just like, yeah, we're gonna put out this episode and we focused on other episodes. We're not gonna care about this one in the future. We're just gonna keep putting out trash and people will watch it and
Like Birds of Prey?
yeah.
Trash.
But see, they're not counting on Snyder Cut to do good. They want it to fail so that they can be like, see, we gave you Justice League. You should have liked this. But in the off chance that this movie does fucking amazing, then they can be like, see, we care about you.
But has it?
I think it's done good. I honestly, I don't know any of the numbers. There's a bunch of reports from everywhere, a bunch saying different things. And much like all the noise and the talk from before, I'm not paying attention to it because I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I watch my movie and go home.
Boom. And that's why I want to move on to the movie, because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit about any of that.
I really don't care about numbers, how much it made.
All I cared about is how I reacted to it,
Bro.
watching it with you.
Bro.
And
It was emotional.
it was very emotional
It
because,
was beautiful.
like I said about Zack Snyder, like Zack puts passion and love into these characters, I too am emotionally attached to these comic book characters because they have been characters that have been a part of my life since I've been able to read.
Seeing the rebirth of Superman in the black suit, man. That's the one thing. I went out in public and said, that's all I want to see.
Yeah. Well, you
I
got
got
it.
it, man. I
And-
got it. That's
and-
all I wanted. Superman in the black suit. Give it to me.
But yeah, like going forward, and then there's this whole hashtag continue the Snyderverse, right? Or was it
Restore.
Restore. I'm sorry.
Another,
I'm sorry.
Another read.
I'm not a
Restore
hashtagger,
it.
really. But hashtag continue the Monsterverse.
I like into the Snyderverse, but that's just, that's just me.
So, Zack Snyder did lay out a roadmap of the second and third film in an interview, and I want to talk about that before we dive into the movie itself. Is he talked a lot about big main points of the films,
Big chunks of it, yeah.
big chunks, and I'll just tell you basically, Superman and Lois have a son. Name him Bruce, because the whole idea of the movie is Darkseid goes into the Batcave,
Boom tubes into the Batcave, yeah.
kills Lois Lane, and Batman hesitates. Thus, Lois is the key.
Yep.
And basically,
And that
Batman
comes
hesitates.
full circle, yeah.
And so,
Instead of sacrificing himself, he hesitates. Lois gets sacrificed.
and thus the nightmare sequence.
Evil Superman succumbs to the anti-life equation, and
So in that
Rest is
wake,
history.
in the wake of it, at the end of the trilogy, basically of Justice League 1, 2, and 3, Zack Snyder's vision, they have a baby, name him Bruce, and the baby Bruce of Superman and Lois becomes Batman.
yeah, because after Batman is dead, there's no other Batman. Because in this universe, Robin has already been killed, right,
say
by
right
Jared Leto's Joker.
That sounds terrible. That's the point. There's more to it. You can go and read the interview or watch it or whatever it is. But
They're also on storyboards.
that's what I don't like.
They're
I
on
don't like
storyboards.
that. That's the entire big arc.
At one point, yes, that was like word for word, storyboard by storyboard. Those were his plans for his Justice League 2 and 3. Now he has also said that he has alternate storyboards
Yes, he did say
that
that.
he is not showing anyone because
Yeah.
those other ones are on display in the Zack Snyder's Justice League Museum in Texas. So it's for anybody to go see and read and
Oh, really?
yeah.
So that's cool. If it's that, I don't want it. I don't want it to continue. But let's hope it's not.
I think parts of that are good, which I think is what he's gonna keep. Not the whole Batman and Lois or Superman and Lois having kid. Whatever.
Batman's in love with Lois Lane. I don't want to see
I think that was like.
That's
I think those
weird.
were like plot point ideas that maybe they were kicking around with, but I think like honestly, I think he had a lot to think about while he wasn't doing it, And now he has like this sort of like retrospect, and he's like, maybe we'll go this different direction. And it's really cool because none of that has been like seen or done. So if he wanted to make Justice League 2 from this point on, he could go in a completely different direction and still include Darkseid and Steppenwolf Steppenwolf did. He ate the bones.
He did.
But Desaad.
They canceled the New Gods movie.
Yeah.
Which I think.
Why'd they do that?
I think New Gods would have, for an audience, I think New Gods would have been better to come before this movie.
Well, yeah.
Because we would have cared about Desaad, we would have cared about Darkseid, and we would have cared about Steppenwolf because we would have knew more about their entire story.
And it can still work because then you can have it take place before this movie and do that storyline. You could do that.
DC canceled it.
Yeah.
So no New Gods. So
maybe they'll do it afterwards.
So we're not going to get an insight into Darkseid and Apocalypse and stuff like that. Not that one.
Not unless they're planning on doing a Justice League 2 and 3, and you're going to see that from that movie.
So
I don't know.
Basically, at this time,
WB just loves to cancel everything, bro.
At this time, but they keep shitty ass CW shows around,
bro.
But
yikes.
Yeah, weird, right? It's so weird.
WB don't know what they doing with the properties that they got.
Yeah, some of them, hey. But the thing is, going forward, man, I don't see a future, and apparently WB's not moving forward the Snyderverse.
Oh, really? You don't see the potential of a Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 when the first one kicked ass?
Well, no, I do.
I'll kill you.
I don't see them going in that direction because they have stated it's not.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, and you told me, you were like, yeah, they released the trailer saying that it's the trilogy, and what did I tell you?
The trilogy trailer.
What did I tell you, man? We've seen these trilogy trailers before. Right? Didn't Star Wars have a original trilogy? Wasn't Jurassic Park at one point a trilogy?
That's Star Wars, dude.
Isn't there a Back to the Future trilogy?
There's not another 3 films.
But there could be.
Oh my goodness. There could always be.
Exactly. And that's the potential of saying, hey, you know what? Why stop at just 2 more films, right? What if we greenlight a Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, 3, and 4 and just call it a brand new trilogy?
I want you to understand this.
For him to tell his overarching story.
If Snyder Cut is over, it's over.
Done. It's done.
If that's where it lies today, right? We still have Wonder Woman 3. We're getting all kinds of films, right?
You want to greenlight that?
Yeah, but I need everyone to realize is you got to realize Zack Snyder is still the executive producer. Him and his wife, on like all of these DC
characters
films.
and stuff that they produced.
Yeah. Don't forget that means the film is going to be a Zack Snyder film. Zack Snyder and his wife were the executive producers in Wonder Woman 1984.
That's just
because they are attached to these other WB movies. Always remember 1984.
Oh, God.
Remember. Because just because they're attached to it.
Don't mean it's going to be his vision.
Don't mean it's going to be, yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be a Zack Snyder film.
And I think that's just something that we all need to swallow going forward as DC fans, as Snyder fans, because if Wonder Woman 1984 is this next wave of DC films, we have a problem.
No, I don't accept that. My son is gonna bury me. No, bro. If Wonder Woman 1984 is where the DC arc is going without Zack Snyder.
But Zack Snyder, that's what I'm saying. He is an executive producer on those.
But he has no say.
As much as an executive producer.
Bro, he produced the movie. The movie gonna come out with his funding, right? He producing. But he has no say as to what Wonder Woman gonna have a shield, or she gonna have a tiara.
Well, I think Patty Jenkins has said, James Wan has said, the Aquaman, the Wonder Woman movies are in Zack Snyder's vision. They're in the
verse. Yeah, they're in the universe.
They're in this. It's the whole Snyderverse. That was their direction, but now apparently they've hit some walls and they have to redirect.
The only save all, the only catch 22 is the Flash, dude. because of the Flash, you have alternate universes, right? You have the DC multiverse, which he gonna fuck up the timeline. We all know because Michael Keaton already confirmed that he's gonna be in the new Flash movie. So
and like we've talked that the Snyder Cut is canon with CW. So it's a giant multiverse, which is really cool. But
and Ben Affleck gonna be in that film too. So you're gonna have two Batmans.
Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton
in the film all at once, but not Robert Pattinson.
So apparently it came out that apparently he got mad.
He said, "I'm Batman."
He literally said, he got mad that Ben Affleck is, I guess, reprising his role. And he said something along the lines of that he thinks the fans are going to like Ben Affleck's Batman because they've already accepted him. And his Batman is like too far out there. Damn, like it's too different.
That's crazy.
That they'll be more comfortable with Ben Affleck's Batman.
I wonder how Jared Leto feels about that.
About another Joker?
Yeah. You know, a Joker movie without Jared Leto.
So, I mean, if
crazy what WB just be doing to these characters and these actors.
If that's what Warner Brothers wants, that's cool. If they do link it all together, that's cool.
At the end of the day, Warner Brothers is going to do what Warner Brothers wants and get what Warner Brothers gets because they own the rights and properties and everything. And but now AT&T is above Warner Brothers and they own everything.
You just got to realize.
So you got the hierarchy, man.
You do realize that these DC movies do sell. We have a brand new Warner Brothers Mortal Kombat
versus DC
Injustice. I guarantee you it's going to happen one day.
100. Let's see it.
Bro, it's going to happen one day.
Yeah, give me
They
Luke
own
Cage.
all of it.
I know, it's amazing.
Warner Brothers can do an Injustice film. They will one day. It'll be a giant fucking crossover. Dude. Bihan, bro. Sub-Zero. The actor came out and says that he's on contract for 4 more movies. That means he's on contract for 5, if potentially successful, 5 Mortal Kombat films. Warner Brothers, this is their Warner Brothers new cash cow. Mortal Kombat is going to become a franchise. And if it's a popular selling franchise and DC movies are doing good, you tell me somebody's not going to write an Injustice screenplay? NetherRealm's just like, yo, we already got the whole story. All you got to do is shoot it.
All it takes is for the Flash to run into the Shadow Realm and be like, huh.
Outworld.
Run back. Yeah. And, I wonder what our next episode's going to be.
So we already see some continuity differences between Zack Snyder's Flash and the new Flash.
Oh, God.
So they changed his logo.
There's going to be a Supergirl in that movie. You know that, right?
Supergirl and another Batman.
They got characters up to yin yang. I wonder if she's going to have dark hair or if she's going to be blonde. That's interesting.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's going to be...
I think he's going to be going in and out of different timelines.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to be Supergirl from Zack Snyder's universe. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be.
Yeah.
She's still going to, which is interesting because the suit that he pulled up and was like, "You're going to be Supergirl," was like a Man of Steel suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, huh. I was like, so maybe if she does have dark hair, maybe it's like, well, his like direct cousin, and maybe they're not going the blonde hair route.
Either way they do it, man, I think it's cool. We're getting a live action Supergirl, so
that's crazy.
I'm down with it. But the Flash now has in the new Flash movie, he's gonna have yellow when he moves through the Time Force.
So the blue
it's gonna be
is
all
so
yellow.
Much better.
Well, the blue.
And I know you don't really.
The blue is when he moves faster. So I think that's gonna show a progression.
Okay.
It's going to show a progression because once he becomes super fast, it turns blue, I believe. I could be wrong, but the yellow is when he's like not as fast. So then he's
faster in Justice League than he is in his new movie, even though it's...
and they're changing continuity with this Flash movie.
Bro. See, they're going to fuck it up again. And then Zack Snyder going to have to come in and save everybody again.
I think this Flash movie is going to be a representation of what the next wave of DC is.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, it's all...
Multiverse.
That's what I said. It's the catch-all. It's all hinging on how that movie does and it's going to propel everything into different directions.
I think they're going to do the same thing with
and you got Black Adam coming, man.
With Marvel. They're doing the same thing with the Doctor Strange.
The Rock has literally said he wants to go up against Henry Cavill.
I started talking about Marvel, and Eddie just don't even pay attention to me.
That Marvelized bullshit.
Anyways,
no,
the Black Adam is going to be cool, man.
Henry Cavill and The Rock, bro.
I'm just excited. I'm getting
Superman.
I'm getting my Hawkman. There's a Green Lantern in the movie.
Is there? Is there really?
Is there? So let's talk about it. Let's jump into the potatoes.
So they could put Green Lantern in that movie, but not in Zack Snyder's
Where the
Justice
hell the
League.
Green Lantern scene in Snyder Cut? Where the hell is that scene at?
You know he filmed it in his driveway, though, right?
Kevin Smith said he read the script, and he describes the scene with Kilowog, and they're in the lake house of Batman's lake house, and the two Green Lanterns show up.
Kilowog is in it though. He's the dead lantern in the nightmare sequence where there's a dead lantern.
It's a skeleton.
Yeah, that's Kilowog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Don't care.
It's dead Kilowog.
Where's the scene?
So it was supposed to be Kilowog and Green Lantern, and I believe Zack has come out and said that he did shoot it that way, but when it came time to show the execs again, they said, no Green Lantern in this film. You can do everything. You can do everything in the movie that you want to do. You can have it your way, BK. But you can't use Green Lanterns because we got our own plans.
So you're telling me the Snyder Cut isn't the full Snyder Cut?
I want the extended Snyder Cut.
So are we going for the full 4 hours of this podcast, or what?
I mean, we could, bro, but we got a 4-hour film. We got to go watch Mortal Kombat. There's a lot to do, man. There's a lot to do.
But okay, let's get into it. No Russian family.
Fuck that family. Get them out of here.
A whole complete different.
Get out of here.
A whole complete different Steppenwolf.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the redesign. So much better.
So
you didn't like it in the beginning.
I didn't like it until I watched it.
Fanboy.
I didn't like it until I watched it.
Of course.
The build up, the hype. I was.
And
just
what
like,
did I tell you? I said, bro, you just gonna have to watch it.
So
I said, we're gonna figure out when you watch it.
I think I was on my second or third rewatch of the Snyder Cut.
That's a lot of hours.
And it clicked. It popped in my head.
It's sentient.
Unite the Seven. I was watching Steppenwolf, and I was just like, bro, Unite the Seven. I was like, and I talked to you about it. I was like, it just popped in my head. I've been reading Hyperion by Dan Simmons.
Shit.
Best sci-fi ever.
Oh, shit.
And then I was like, bro,
Hyperion.
Justice League. I was like, and I didn't feel it with the Justice League cut. I didn't feel it with the first one, but this one,
how could you?
The entire scale, the way this film went, it was seven characters, and it was Unite the Seven, and it just clicked in my head. I was like, bro, this is not exactly, but I was like, this is very similar to Hyperion.
And the characters.
Yeah.
How they all come together and get to know each other's stories.
Every character has their set, like, chapter, basically, and that sets all the composition for you to care. And basically the stories, I think it was Canterbury Tales, an old story Canterbury Tales. Basically Dan Simmons did Hyperion in that same writing format.
Yeah.
And when I watched it, I was like, holy shit. I watched Justice League, I was like, this is that same writing format. This is that same, basically the same format of telling a story. And you have all these characters and all this composition. So by the time it comes to that final encounter in the time tombs, and you have the Shrike killing everybody, basically, literally almost identical. When I saw Steppenwolf, the way his metallic suit was sentient, it was very it was like the Shrike. It was this metallic, sharp creature that constantly is changing form, and basically you get to the end where they all have to come together and unite. I was like, bro, this is literally the comic book version of Hyperion. And the reason I bring that up, it is a connection in my mind, but I have yet to see anybody compare Zack Snyder's Justice League to Hyperion.
There's a lot of people doing like Seven Samurai, or
and Seven Samurai. is very reminiscent. It's that same shit. It's very similar to Dan Simmons' Hyperion. It's known as one of the like grandfathers of sci-fi, one of the best sci-fi novels.
The pillars of stories. And
so if you're really interested in that, I would highly recommend check out Hyperion.
And Zack Snyder even said that the reason why he did like black and white, which there's the Justice is Gray version, is because of Seven Samurai, because he liked how Akira Kurosawa did his films and the black and white aspect and how everything just looks that much better to him. And see, that's the artist's like eye, right? Because you strip away all the color, you strip away all the noise, and you just get back to the basics on black and white. It's so much better. I've watched it, Zack Snyder's Justice League that way, and that shit pops, man. If you haven't watched it,
I haven't
check
seen
it out
the gray
Justice is Gray edition. It's pretty good.
Fuck the world.
Yeah. You never even answered that. Did you like Cyborg in this movie better than
that was the other
Justice
scene.
League?
That's the other scene. It's the Justice League stuff that I did like was the race.
God,
and it was
I'm gonna kill you.
And at the end, where Cyborg turns into the classic Cyborg logo. I like that scene.
Okay, Teen Titans,
let's go, baby!
Get out of here! Yeah, he didn't say booyah either, because fuck that.
So those are a couple things that I like about that. But holy shit, dude, Wonder Woman was badass. That scene with Wonder Woman
was so much better.
How do you not do that? How do you film that and make her so weak in the original cut?
So weak. Barry Allen falling on top of her. Little smirk, like, oh yeah, you could get this too. No, bro. Wonder Woman is an Amazon. Nobody owns me.
So Joss Whedon literally had.
It was his version of feet pics of the.
He had the
fetish.
Flash fall on Wonder Woman's breast, and Gal Gadot was so uncomfortable with it. It's a body double.
Yeah, it's a body double, bro.
Her head's like this.
She turned to the side because she didn't want to do it.
It's a body double.
Mm-hmm. They be letting you know, the freaks out there in Hollywood, man. Be letting you know.
So the movie itself is amazing. I would say thumbs up. I just wasn't into the hype. I knew it was coming for a long time.
So what did you like about Justice League?
It was very
Zack
emotional.
Snyder's.
Very emotional. I mean, we watched it together.
Yeah.
It was very emotional for me.
Martian Manhunter scene.
I'm not going to say I cried, but I'm not going to say I didn't. But I got very emotional. I love John Jones. I love Martian Manhunter, and the whole rumors ever since Man of Steel, the whole rumors of Martian Manhunter, and it was so cool to see all those rumors after so many years be true and to come to light, and it was a breath of fresh air on how Man of Steel and BVS were immortalized with this trilogy, and I'm happy that when we look back, we can say that version is trash, and it's a CG mustache in history.
CG mustache, you got to throw it away, man.
And
get it out of here.
At the end of the day, I'm very happy with it.
My takes from it, I loved all the additional composition, of course, the introduction of Darkseid. It even makes you feel for Steppenwolf, because like all he wants to do is go home. Like you get kind of like this sympathy for this bad guy who's willing to kill everybody for Darkseid.
And imagine if we would have got a New Gods film to give composition to all those characters.
That explains why Steppenwolf has been banished and has to capture all these worlds to get back on Darkseid's good side.
Imagine if they would have done that and introduced Orion, Darkseid's son, right?
Yeah. And Apocalypse, you get to see Apocalypse. Like, there's all kinds of things that this movie
Granny
goodness, set up for the future or different iterations of, the continuation of this verse. And that's what Zack Snyder's so good about. More Aquaman, more Mera. There was even a change in the direction between Alfred and Batman. Batman is so hopeful in this movie, and he's not like just angry and fighting with the rest of the Justice League.
Yeah,
it's crazy. He's actually
everything makes sense.
It's a big shift from BVS to Man of Steel or to Zack Snyder's Justice League. You don't get that.
I hated
movie.
the whole Bruce Wayne and Diana fighting.
Yeah,
in the original
the
cut.
whole time.
It was so stupid, and
they were at each other's throats.
Yeah, it was trash. This is the definitive cut. It is amazing.
There's a friendship between Cyborg and the Flash, and you get that composition. And the Flash even says Superman was my favorite. Like he looked up to Superman, and to be able to bring him back from death, he just saved the life of his favorite hero.
Yeah.
That had so much on a different level. That had so much like just feeling and emotion to the story.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to see that and to get all the things. Long story short, Zack Snyder's Justice League for me was more than I could have ever hoped for.
Yeah.
It was 100 times better.
And I agree with that. It's something that I think we're going to look back and say, holy shit, what if they would have continued it?
I hope we don't have to. Hope. Thanks again, everybody, for sticking around to the end of the episode. Well, Josh, after a 4-hour film, there's not much left to talk about, right?
Oh, man. What are you hashtagging, you little hashtaggers out there on social media? You hashtagging to restore the Snyderverse.
Oh, God dang.
I'm so sick of these verses. The Spider-Verse, the Batman-verse, the Snyderverse, the Errors-verse, the blah, blah, blah
Hey,
verse.
man, you got to restore something.
You know what I'm hashtagging?
What's that?
Hashtag WB move the fuck on.
Ooh, I hear Dune's coming out soon, man. Dune? We can move on to that.
You
Or
leave.
Or
you leave Dune alone.
Or the Flash. You know, he could restore the Snyderverse with the Flash film. Booyah! Oh, we can't say that. Sorry.
Let's take the caravan and keep moving forward. Let's stop looking backwards. Let's stop trying to re-release things.
There's a lot of great things coming out.
Like what, dude?
I hear Justice League 2 and 3 is out there somewhere. Restore the Snyder Cut. Restore the Snyderverse. Josh is out of here. But until next time, friends, it's your own future. It's all happening right now. We're not broken. We're not alone. Restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag until next time. Stay nostalgic on that eternal quest to get back to the basics.
Booyah!